Right, good morning, Nigeria. It's a brand new day, Tuesday, the 22nd of July, and we are so glad you have joined us right here on Daybreak Live, only on Dominion Television.
And a very good morning to you wherever you're watching from, home, office, on the go. We hope you had a restful night. I am Wayemi Adelapo.
And I am Sam Balalo. It's your favorite morning for ready to bring you news, views, and all the gist you need to kickstart your Tuesday. Let's begin with a quick look at today's weather.
Exactly. For most parts of the country, we are expecting partly cloudy skies, but a chance of morning showers, especially in Lagos, Port Harcourt, and Abuja. Northern states like Kano and Sokoto should brace for hot and dry conditions throughout the day. So if you're stepping out early, a small umbrella or raincoat might just be your best friend, just in case, really.
And absolutely, and now that's the weather sorted, let's get into what we have lined up for you this morning. As always, we start with Daybreak News, bringing you the top headlines you need to know from across the country and beyond.
And after that, we'll dive into our newspaper headline review and analysis, where we'll take you through what's making the front pages today. Plenty of political news, social development, and economic updates to unpack.
And then we move to our big story of the day, and it's one that's stirring up real national concern. Retired police officers across the country are staging a protest, demanding better salaries and pension reforms for police personnel in Nigeria.
Yes, and these demands are not new, but the rising intensity of the protest tells us that many former officers feel abandoned after years of service. It's a conversation about welfare, justice, and the dignity of service. And to help us unpack all of these, we'll be joined by Dr. Kule Okonla, a seasoned security expert who will share some critical insight on the issue.
You don't want to miss that segment, very important. And of course, after the heavy conversation, we'll cool things down with Trend Watch, where we spotlight what Nigerians are buzzing about online, from entertainment, social media drama, to those quirky trends. Yemi and I will be bringing you all the gists.
Exactly. You can keep the conversation going by visiting our social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, @Dominion Broadcast, and on X, @DominionCast. Do well to drop your comment, stream us live and watch us, do this show.
And of course, they can also watch us live on our website, www.dominion.org.ng.
Exactly.
So, keep it locked on this tab. We've got a lot for you on this show. Good morning to you, Yemi.
Good morning, Sam.
Very nice to be here with you again.
Same here, same here.
It's the combo Monday, Tuesday.
And of course, Friday, I guess.
Fridays. Okay, let's talk about, the minority leader in the UK Parliament, Kemi Badenoch, who actually has a lot to say about Nigerians. I mean, it is sometimes interesting to actually read these things on the pages of the newspaper, but sometimes demoralizing to know that someone like Kemi Badenoch, who is of Nigerian descent, is actually going all out to make sure that it is becoming increasingly difficult for Nigerians to travel abroad to the UK and, of course, to get citizenship. I mean, what does she have for Nigerians? I mean, what kind of hatred will you call that?
Really, I think that Kemi's stance on Nigeria is not new to me, because this is not the first time that she'll come out to talk about Nigeria. I recall the last time VP Shetima had to reply to her. That was the time she said that she's had some experiences with some Nigerian police, and then she doesn't want to talk about it. Her stance about Nigeria, about Nigerians, I really am not surprised about that. And of course, she also mentioned something. She said that because she's a woman, she cannot transfer our citizenship to our children, which is not correct, because according to the Nigerian constitution, you can do that even if you have grandparents that are Nigerian. The only thing she cannot do is that she cannot transfer that to her husband, because she married a Scottish man. So really, I feel like Kemi should, of course, she has some grievances. If you've stayed over there for a long time and probably you've been to Nigeria for a few times, you might get angry at some things, really, because that's a developed country. But regardless of that, it's your country.
I've always said this: once a Nigerian, always a Nigerian. Regardless of where you have stayed, Russia, UK, even the America, as long as you are a Nigerian, you will always be a Nigerian. But if we talk about some of the things she mentioned, she mentioned that it will become increasingly difficult for Nigerians to actually become citizens of the UK, because she's proposing, instead of an extra 1 year for the 5 years wait to become a citizen, she's proposing 10 years. I mean, that's a lot. I mean, 15 years. That's a lot. I mean, the waiting period.
Yeah, she also said that she noticed that it's been so easy for a lot of immigrants
to become citizens.
And then she said she's going to make it harder on her part. And apart from that, she also said a lot of immigrants abuse, some of the constitutions. Exactly. A lot of persons will claim asylum, they get married to people or maybe switch from one religion to the other, and then they claim asylum and say, you know what, I can't go back to my country. And because of that, they'll stay permanently in the UK. I mean, that's up to her. But regardless, I mean, look at what Barack Obama used to, his people, look at what he did, while he was in power. So I feel it's an opportunity for her to actually, be a little bit, kind to our people. Yes, not at the detriment of our job as the party leader. But really, I feel that there's a thin line between, you trying to, paint your people in a certain light. Because, I mean, a lot of persons are going to watch that interview, CNN for that matter, really, and then they're going to, she said that, she cannot transfer that to our people, which is very, very wrong, according to the Constitution. I read a post yesterday, Femi Falana also came out to say that, you know what, Kemi, you are very wrong on this. Even people that are not lawyers, if you read well, you can tell that, to me, that is not correct, because there are certain ways by which you can attain or gain the citizenship, by naturalization, by birth, by registration.
Even by marriage.
Exactly. Even there, I heard of honorary, citizenship as well.
Right.
So these things are available. I don't know. I don't want to say that she said that intentionally. I watched a video yesterday. Someone like her also, who was born in the UK, she came out to say that, you know what, I was born in the UK like Kemi. I have children. I got married to a white person. And of course, I'm not going to come out to say that I cannot give out my citizenship to my children. Yeah, maybe she doesn't. The kind of Kemi that I know, I don't think she want her children to have Nigerian. Exactly. I'm not sure about that.
You see, the truth of the matter is, the question I would love to ask her, if I get to see her in person or probably over an interview, is, are you just being a Nigerian or you are just being you? I mean, it's one thing to actually say, oh, I really despise these people, despite the fact that I come from there. Or probably I've seen so many things that makes me think, look, I don't want to identify with these people anymore. But regardless of the situation, you are still a Nigerian, Madam Kemi. I don't know how you want to do it. There's no way you want to do it. You cannot erase. I mean,
even our name, Kemi.
So it means that you are still from the southwestern part of the country, and you cannot erase that from your identity.
At all.
I mean, if she could do that, she would have done that a long time ago.
So I don't think she wants to get Nigerian, citizenship for our children. I don't see.
One of the things she also talked about is the fact that you must be a major contributor to the UK economy before you become a citizen. Well, it happens in some countries, like I think St. Kitts and Nevis. If you can invest a certain amount of money in the country, you automatically become an honorary citizen of that country.
Yes, even in African countries, if you have contributed to the development of the country to an extent, they will offer you, if you are interested, you want to become a citizen of that country, leave citizenship aside.
The only thing she said, that I agree with, even though an average Nigerian wouldn't want to agree with that, is if you have entered the UK illegally, or probably you overstayed, you are never coming back to the UK. I mean, that for me, that's fair enough.
Of course, that's fair. And of course, speaking about people who also claim asylum based on, they lie to the government.
If they eventually find out.
Exactly. If they find out,
you are never coming back.
I mean, that's fair.
For me, that is fair.
That's fair. That's
but
part
every
of
other thing she mentioned, I mean, we are not on the same page on this.
That's part of it. Expect more from Kemi, really. I tell you.
She will still do more.
Expect more from her.
And that brings us to the end of this segment of the show. This morning we say very thank you for staying tuned to Dominion Television, your channel of choice, where inspiration meets entertainment. We now go on a short break, and when we return, we head straight to our news desk. We'll be back after this time out.
Ever dreamed of creating the next viral series or telling powerful stories on the big screen? This summer, your passion for TV can become a reality. Our TV Practical Summer Class is calling all future scriptwriters, producers, directors, video editors, reporters, news editors, and on-air personalities. Get hands-on training from industry professionals. Learn to shoot with professional cameras, master editing software, and produce your own content from start to finish. This isn't just a class, it's your launch pad. Don't just watch TV. Make it. Enroll now. Spaces are limited. Visit our website on www.dominion.org.ng or call the number 0706 777 9435 0706 777 9435. Dominion Television, your channel of choice.
This is the break news on Dominion Television. My name is Oluwayemi Adelako. The Minister of Youth Development, Ayodele Olawande, has said President Bola Tinubu is making deliberate efforts to create economic and job opportunities through skills development aimed at empowering Nigerian youth. Olawande announced this at an event stating that the president has laid the foundation for a future where Nigerian youth are globally competitive and less eager to migrate in search of better opportunities, popularly called the Japa Syndrome. He noted that Tinubu's administration has launched various initiatives focused on vocational and technical training, entrepreneurship and the creative industries to help young Nigerians acquire marketable skills and thrive in a competitive environment. The federal government has revealed that over 730 individuals have been convicted for terrorism-related offences as part of its intensified effort to combat terrorism financing and dismantle illicit financial networks. The National Coordinator, National Counter-Terrorism Center, Major General Adamu Laka, disclosed this at the on-site meeting of the Financial Action Task Force in Abuja. He said more than 90 of the convictions were secured with direct support from the Nigeria Financial Intelligence Unit, underscoring the success of interagency collaboration in tracking and disrupting financial networks that support terrorist groups. A federal high court in Abuja has declined the request by a former governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello, for the release of his international passport to enable him to travel to the United Kingdom on health grounds. And the ruling, Justice Emeka Iwite, found that the medical report attached to Bello's application was not signed by its maker as required. The judge stressed out an on-site document carries no weight in law and therefore considered worthless. It then adjourned to October 7 for continuation of trial. The wife of Oyo State Governor Tamuna Menini Makinde has called on citizens and stakeholders to prioritize malaria prevention by consistently using insecticide-treated net to curb the spread of malaria in the state. Makinde stated this while launching the 2025 insecticide-treated net mass distribution campaign, emphasizing the critical role of prevention in the fight against malaria, which she described as one of Nigeria's most persistent public health threats. Earlier in her remarks, the Commissioner for Health, Dr. Oluwaserimi Adetumobi, disclosed that over 5 million insecticide-treated nets have been allocated for distribution across the state as part of the 2025 campaign. Dr. Adetumobi expressed confidence that the mass campaign would significantly increase net ownership and usage across households in the state in reducing malaria transmission, anemia in pregnant women and children, and improving overall health outcomes at the event. The different health stakeholders were present, which include World Health Organization, USAID, and other stakeholders. Following the violent disruption of the APC primary election in Ibadan North, Honorable Aderomu Adesina, one of the aspirants, has revealed that the party is yet to produce a candidate. According to Honorable Aderomu, the election was stalled due to a late attempt by some individuals to rig the process behind closed doors. He added that the APC officials who came from Abuja to conduct a primary have now returned to the capital, citing inability of stakeholders to reach a consensus. The party has yet to release an official statement, and tension remains high as the by-election draws near. The federal government, through the National Artisan Skills Acquisition Program, NASAP, is planning to train and certify 10,000 artisans annually, aimed at creating a steady pipeline of skilled professionals to meet the demands of Nigeria's growing housing sector. The Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Ahmed Dangiwa, made a presentation of the NASAP to stakeholders at the 6th National Council on Skills chaired by the Vice President, Senator Kashim Shettima, at Presidential Villa in Abuja. Dangiwa described NASAP as a flagship intervention designed to deliver practical, market-ready skills to youth and raise the standard of housing delivery across the country. In sports, the Nigeria Premier Football League (NPFL) has announced Monday, July 28, as the date for its annual general meeting (AGM). Recall that NPFL had earlier announced that the meeting will be held in July without a specific date and venue. The date was announced in a letter of invitation to all the participating clubs signed by the NPFL Chief Operating Officer, Davidson Omi. All 20 clubs' representatives are expected to arrive in Abuja on Sunday, July 27th. The AGM is a preparatory roadmap for the 2025-26 NPFL season, with the new season commencing on Friday, August 22nd. You can visit our website on www.dominion.org.ng to watch us live and interact with us. You can also follow us across our social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and LinkedIn at Dominion Broadcast and X at DominionCast. That's the break news. I am Oluwayemi Adelakun. Say thank you for watching and good morning.
Ever dreamed of creating the next virus series or telling powerful stories on the big screen? This summer, your passion for TV can become a reality. Our TV Practical Summer Class is calling all future scriptwriters, producers, directors, video editors, reporters, news editors, and on-air personalities. Get hands-on training from industry professionals. Learn to shoot with professional cameras, master editing software, and produce your own content from start to finish. This isn't just a class. It's your launch pad. Don't just watch TV, make it. Enroll now. Spaces are limited. Visit our website on www.dominion.org.ng or call the number 0706 777 9435 0706 777 9435. Dominion Television, your channel of choice.
Oranges are a highly acclaimed citrus fruit, celebrated for their delicious juicy pulp and vibrant orange color. They are an outstanding source of vitamin C and a wealth of other essential nutrients, enjoyed in a myriad of ways, whether eaten fresh, juiced, or used for zest in various culinary delights. Types of oranges: we have sweet oranges, the most popular variety, renowned for their delightful sweetness, making them perfect for fresh eating, juicing, and cooking. Navel oranges, a type of sweet orange distinguished by a small navel or growth at the blossom end, making them easy to identify and enjoy. Blood oranges, with their striking reddish flesh, these oranges offer a unique berry-like flavor that stands out. Mandarin oranges, known for their loose, easy-to-peel skin and irresistible sweetness, they are a favorite for snacking. Clementines, a particular type of mandarin orange that is especially sweet and seedless, making them a convenient treat. Bitter oranges, well sour, these oranges are invaluable for making marmalade and enhancing flavors in various dishes. Valencia oranges, this late-season sweet orange is praised for its juiciness and ability to produce a sweet juice that remains fresh even when exposed to air. Acidless oranges, known for their low acidity, these oranges deliver an exceptionally sweet taste. Oranges are undeniable nutritional powerhouse, brimming with vitamin C, fiber, and potassium, as well as other vital vitamins and minerals.
Ever dreamed of creating the next virus series or telling powerful stories on the big screen? This summer, your passion for TV can become a reality. Our TV Practical Summer Class is calling all future scriptwriters, producers, directors, video editors, reporters, news editors, and on-air personalities. Get hands-on training from industry professionals. Learn to shoot with professional cameras, master editing software, and produce your own content from start to finish. This isn't just a class. It's your launch pad. Don't just watch TV, make it. Enroll now. Spaces are limited. Visit our website on www.dominion.org.ng or call the number 0706 777 9435 0706 777 9435. Dominion Television, your channel of choice.
All right, welcome you back. This is still Daybreak Live on Dominion Television, Ibadan. Of course, this is where we talk about the major headlines across the dailies, and not just talk about the headlines. We also talk about the analysis of some of the top headlines this morning. All right, let me start with the Daily Times this morning. I have this one that says, retired police officers protest in Abuja, threatening to disrupt NAS. That's coming from the Daily Times. And of course, I watched the video yesterday. A lot of things were being said. You know, Omoyele Shure, who is known as an activist, also came out to support these people to protest about their mode of payment. A lot of them are not getting paid. A lot is happening to them. And then I also read that some of them had to resort to working as gatemen for people just so they can feed. You know, it's part of what we're going to discuss, you know, this morning. Moving away from that, let's also talk about this one that says alleged 80.2 billion naira fraud. Again, courts denies Yahaya Bello overseas medical trip. Also, I think I read something recently that talked about the fact that he recently got married to a new wife, and of course he wants to go on a medical trip abroad, and of course the court is saying no, and the case has been adjourned, I think, until November. Really, we'll talk about that as well. We also have this one that says Bauchi governor to deploy drones to fight bandit. That's welcome development. Moving away from that, I have this one. 2027, only PDP can defeat Tinubu. That's coming from NPS. I think ever since the coalition people started, I've read news, I've watched interviews about the top shot in PDP and even top shot in APC. They've come out to say that, you see, this coalition paid them no mind. They really do not have what it takes to unseat the president. Is that really a fact? We are going to talk about that this morning as well. Moving away from that, I also have this headline that says reps investigate 25 insurance coils over alleged fraud. I have this one that says crack in Labour Party widens as Obi's VP identifies with Abure faction. That's interesting. That's Dati Ahmed, because I'm aware that we have two factions going on in the Labour Party. We have the Abure faction, we have the Nenandi faction. We will talk about that extensively if time permits us this morning. Moving away from the Daily Times, let's look at Platform Times. I have this one that says Nigeria's $60 billion forest economy at risk, Shetima cautions. And that headline asks this rider. Federal government confirms 40 million Nigerians affected by desertification. It's something to look at. I mean, a huge risk. If you ask me, $6 billion is a lot of money. Awujale burial, Ifa Council, Ogun government take battle to court. I wonder how that will end, because the former monarch was buried, the late monarch was buried just recently, but then ever since the burial, a lot of controversies, a lot of discussion. The court is saying he ought to have been buried in a traditional way. He came into power through a traditional way. Why should he be buried in an Islamic way? It's a lot to unpack on that story. I also have this headline that says Kano JSC demote court registrar over forgery misconduct. And of course, U.S. imposes a lifetime visa ban on Nigerians who submit fake document. And moving away from that, I have this one that says PDP labels Tinubu bad market, says no patriotic Nigerian will back him in 2027. That's a very strong line. Bad market, really. We'll talk about that as well. Also, let's look at this headline that says Sanusi vows to strip title holders who are sought wives in Kano Emirate. All right, let's cross over to the Nation newspaper. Quite a number of interesting headlines here. I have this one that says state failed to utilize access 250 billion naira UBEC cash. A lot of controversies about this, and I read a report from the chairperson yesterday. She has a lot to say. I really want us to talk about these as well, should time permit us. I also have this one that says that IG backs demand for better welfare by retired policemen. But I read a story as well yesterday, and then it was trying to say that, do not allow other people, the people I'm talking about, to hijack this protest. We want you to get a better, remuneration, get paid, by the government, but then do not allow other persons hijack this from you, because when it comes to protest, we need to be very careful. It must be civil, it must be without violence. People must not be, killed. A lot of things must not go wrong in that protest, really, in as much as they are trying to clamor for their right, because they have worked for the country over the years. They deserve to be paid. Also looking at this headline that talks about Kemi Badenoch, Nigerian citizenship, federal government knocks Kemi Badenoch. And of course, this is not the first time that a Nigerian government will respond to Kemi. She had a lot to say about the fact that she's a woman, she cannot transfer citizenship to her children, which is not correct according to the Nigerian Constitution. I think Section 25B of the Constitution says that you can actually do that whether you're a man or a woman. Even if you have grandparents that are Nigerian, you have access to Nigerian citizenship. All right, away from the Nation newspaper, let's cross over to this day. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, I have quite a number of headlines here. The first one here is saying federal government's debt to Gencos eat 1.2 trillion naira. Total arrears exceed 5 trillion naira. That's a lot to unpack. That headline asks this rider. It says generation companies kick over new subsidies to EERC. Really? Moving away from that, let's also look at this headline that says after rebasing, NBS put nominal GDP at $243 billion in 2024. That headline asks this riders. Economy grew by 3.13% in first quarter 2025. Oil contributed 3.97%, non-oil 96.03%, and oil production increased to 1.62 MBPD. Let's cross over to Nigerian Tribune. I have this headline that says Nigeria's economy expands, records 3.13% growth in first quarter. It's a welcome development. Looking at what the economy is currently seeing, a lot of things are going on. Farmers can no longer go to the farm to farm because why? They are going to be attacked. A lot of them have been attacked in the past. Look at Benue, for instance. Even here in Southwest, we've seen a lot of attacks, on these farmers. There's a lot, to talk about. We do hope that the economy will come up, higher than this. Let's also look at another headline that says, Obi's running mate, Datti, offers to resolve Labour Party crisis. That headline has this rider, present at NEC meeting by Abure-led camp. And also, I read another headline just recently now that, he has joined the Abure-led camp. I really do not want us to conclude on some of these things. Of course, I have my analyst here that will help me make sense of that headline. Does he really have the capacity to actually resolve this crisis within the Labour Party is what we are going to look at this morning. Moving away from that, I have this one that says ITP cautions protesting ex-police officers against external influence. Protesters insist on exit from contributory pension scheme. This is the basis of the protest. We want to leave this contributory pension scheme. And then, of course, I heard one of them say that, you see, the idea, the DIG, they are not part of the scheme. Why should other, lower cadres or lower officers, be under this scheme? Because this scheme, according to them, is not favorable at all. And, of course, let's look at the last headline on Nigerian Tribune this morning. I have this one that says over 250 billion UBA intervention find unutilized by state government. That's coming from IBEC. Of course, that's how much we can take this morning. It's time to turn to my analysts. Of course, they'll help me make sense of some of the major stories that we have this morning. The first person here I have with me, Temitope Ishola, who is a public affairs analyst and, of course, a historian and writer. And, of course, I have with me Victor Akilen, who is a political scientist and, of course, an entrepreneur, also a public affairs analyst. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for having us.
Good morning.
All right, and welcome on board.
Okay, very much.
Yeah, so let's start with this story from Daily Times, on Daily Times rather. I have this headline that says, retired police officers protest in Abuja threaten to disrupt NAS. And of course, I'm sure you must have seen some of the videos and their complaint. I just talked about it now. They want to be out of that pain, scheme. Why? Because it's not favorable to them. This protest, do you think is going to yield anything positive? Let me start with you, Timmy.
All right. Thank you very much once again for having me. I think it's high time we have our institutions take better care of our workers.
Okay.
Policemen, basically security men generally, a look into their allowance, salary structure is an eyesore, considering what they go through, in the sense that they are our first line of defense generally, be it the policemen for internal security, the soldiers when it comes to external security and the like, basically the armed forces. Our security men are not well catered for their salaries. Some of them still get salaries as low as 50,000 naira. And so it's not, and if we even take it away from there, you also look at normal civil service, we also have issues with salary. So even the salary itself is not even better, talk less of retirement funds and the likes. And I think what we need is the institutions have to just ensure that to a reasonable extent, they put in measures in place that cater to all these individuals, why they are at, should I call it office, as per why they can work or why they are in service, that's the right word, and when they are off service. Because if you look at our political actors, they don't fall within this bracket of having to worry where their retirement funds will come in, whether it's contributory or not. So I believe the system, the government has to actually do better in putting out a clear-cut structure that caters to these people from the beginning of their service down to their life. Because many of these men serve for 35 years, 30 years and the likes. And when you even look at what they are going to collect cumulatively as pension, I don't think it's also commensurate with the years they put into service. When you compare salary and you compare the rising cost of living in the country. So I believe government should do better. And I have no problem with these men coming out. I think the only problem I would have is the Inspector General of Police coming out to say he's backing them. You are at the aim of affair. You don't need to tell us vocally that you are in support of the agitations. You are in that, he's in that space where he can make demands, reach out to the Police Service Commission, or make certain budgetary demands to the federal government and put things in place. Especially for the police, I think with my interactions generally with the armed force, because I can say I have interactions with them, I think the police force is one of the least funded, least catered security outfits in Nigeria. Their barracks is an eyesore. If you go to the Air Force barracks, beautiful. If you go to the Navy, beautiful. If you go to basically the armed forces, they are well catered to. But when you come down to the Nigerian police, it's a different thing entirely. So I believe there's a lot of institutional deficiencies that needs to be catered to, not even just the retirement. It's a good thing the retirement has brought this retirement protest and the likes has brought this up. But I believe the Nigerian police force needs proper digging beyond just this protest that has been said.
All right, let me turn to Victor. I think I watched a video where one of the protesters said that, you see, most of the young guys that are now in the force now, I'm part of those that train them, and a lot of them have not, been able to, come up with any help, that will facilitate their payment early. What do you make of that, really?
There's really nothing they can do.
Okay.
The system, like my friend said, the system has been bad from God knows when. So one person or a set of people would only try their best, speak and speak, put their effort, fight and fight, and eventually they will get tired. They will go back to their family. So the system has been bad. So I completely 100% support what he said. Let government go back to that, especially police force, and fix things. Then I am not against the policeman, the IG, speaking in support of saying he support them.
Okay.
I think that would what's the right word now? That would make federal government to know that it is a serious matter. I mean, for the IG
talking about
it, like, oh guys, I'm in support of this. It puts the federal government on hot seat. IG is in support of them. Let's do something quickly. So over the years, everybody will keep, not only the police force now, there was a time the Teaching Service Commission of a particular state was protesting and doing all those. The TESCOM has a chairman, as a secretary, as a spokesperson, but all of their efforts to put things in place didn't work until the teachers went to the street and started fighting for their right themselves. So yeah, it is true that a lot of people back end have been fighting for this, but we do have results. That's why the people will have to come to the street themselves. So, yeah.
And I think to add,
okay.
Nigeria basically has a poor interaction with their workers. Same
Very
applies
bad.
to ASU.
Okay.
They always consistently have issues like these institutions, these workers always follow protocol. There's something we call in Aluta the 3 C's. I think consultation, consolidation before you confront.
Confrontation, yeah.
Protest is confrontation, which is the last of the process. So from them consolidating or consulting, government used to ignore them. They will always prolong it because obviously they are not wielding any power. It's just like you are coming to meet a big man and you have nothing to hold as a wager. Protest is what these individuals understand as the way to force government. But probably before it gets to that point, government have always ignored them. They've always kept postponing, kept pushing, giving them fake promises. Oh, don't worry, we'll work on this. Give us 2 weeks. And it turns to 2 months, it turns to 3 months. So before it comes to this level of confrontation. So that's why whenever I see any of these institutions coming out to protest, I can already tell that a lot has gone behind the scene. That
beyond the Nigerian police force, over sectors
so
too.
Even other sectors as it is. So I hope, like we said, that the government responds as quickly as possible. Now it is public news.
Okay.
Before it wasn't public news, even though we might have perceived it. But now that it's public news, I think this is what the government also like listening to.
Government likes wahala, permit my word.
Okay.
Until things go out of control, they usually won't do anything serious. Haven't you seen that as a Nigerian trend? Until the students will leave their house, their classroom,
and enter the streets
to go and throw stone to the government office. Until then, the governor will not do something. Until, even within the school now, until the students start breaking.
Vice chancellors will not respond.
Listen, won't respond. You get this thing. So it is a Nigerian trend rather, that until we get to that part of confronting, protesting, going to the streets,
before
Nigerian government really won't do anything. So yeah, I'm 100% support of this. And thank you, IG, for saying that, for making that statement. And let me add this to what he said. The politicians now, they can't relate with what civil servants, public servants are facing. They can't relate. Hence why they won't see a need to handle this matter. So until we throw stone and break their vehicle glasses, then they will.
Would that not be counterproductive? Because I mean, if you do that to government properties, really.
My sister, when it is a bad habit to protest and destroy government properties.
They can be
very
protests.
bad, very completely bad. I am not saying that, but until that happens, they won't have sense now. They won't answer them.
I think, to help him better put it, I think the government have degenerated so bad that they have to force us to get to that point
that is
before
the
they show that, okay, they understand what people are doing. Because as long as you keep communicating in a gentle tone and the likes,
I don't think the Nigerian government understand verbal discussion, verbal negotiation.
But the IG, because you support what the IG said, when I read the report, the IG said, no, these people should be open, for discussion. In as much as they want to protest, there's a platform where they can actually sit together, I think in Abuja, and talk about how to make things work, and of course, how to make sure that they get paid on time.
I will support what Temi said. Temi, right? Before there's confrontation, there has been consolidation, there has been consultation. Listen, before these guys go to the street, they have sent series of letters. We understand the days of ASU. They have sent letters, they have sent representatives that they locked representatives out of the meeting. Now, before the guys went to the street.
Let's look forward to what will happen. I mean, in the next few days, I'm not sure they are going to still protest today, but let's look forward to how that will play out. Away from the protest, let's talk about Yahya Bello, a very popular name in Nigerian politics. And of course, this headline says, alleged 80.2 billion naira fraud. Again, court denies Yahya Bello travel. He wants to go abroad, for medical trip, and because of his health situation. And the court is saying, what? When I watched the video, even the document was not signed. So, what do you make of this? Because recently, I don't know if you saw the news where, he got married to the fourth wife, and of course, this issue. And one thing I've also noticed is the fact that anytime EFCC drops a tweet, especially on X, formerly Twitter, about the fact that they are on some politicians trying to, bring them to book, Nigerians will go on that comment section and start talking about Yahya Bello. What have you done about Yahya Bello? He's one of the most popular politicians in Nigeria as we speak now. Really, what do you make of that?
I think the Yahya Bello case is a clear image or a clear depiction of the state of Nigeria, where the law is different for the rich and the poor. He epitomizes it. So you don't need to go too far and postulate. Just put him in front and you get your answer. That's just it. So it's a constant reminder to the lower class or the Nigerian society that as long as you have power, as long as you are rich, as long as you are big, the law will not match up to you, that you are bigger than the law. So every time EFCC, who I refer as toothless bulldog,
really
constantly make pronouncement about things along the line of corruption, don't tell us what you want to do about those governors that are still in power. Show us what you can do with Yahya Bello. The law is clear. The facts are clear about what you have stolen in office. Your organization mission and vision is clear as to what is necessary to be done to get such a person in. And you people are struggling. Nigeria is a very fun place because you see them say, even the police is also guilty. You see them say Yahya Bello is wanted. But there is a policeman attached to him. So how do you want to explain or make sense of all of this? So I think...
You don't think the EFCC is actually trying its best?
706-777-9435. Dominion Television, your channel of choice.
Grapes are versatile fruits that grow on vines and come in various shapes and colors, including green, red, and purple. They can be enjoyed fresh, dried into raisins, or transformed into juice and wine. Packed with antioxidant, vitamin C, and potassium, grapes offer a wealth of nutritional benefits. Incorporating grapes into your diet can greatly enhance your overall health due to their rich array of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. Here are some key benefits of grapes. It supports cardiovascular health. Grapes provide a significant source of potassium, which helps in regulating blood pressure. Additionally, the presence of antioxidants like resveratrol may offer protective effects against heart disease, making grapes an excellent addition to a heart-healthy diet. It promotes eye health. With antioxidants such as lutein and zeaxanthin, grapes contribute to better eye health. These compounds may help shield against conditions like cataract and age-related macular degeneration, supporting long-term vision. It aids in cancer prevention. Certain compounds found in grapes, including resveratrol and other polyphenols, have demonstrated potential in laboratory and animal studies for inhibiting cancer cell growth. This makes grapes a valuable fruit to consider in a cancer prevention strategy. It enhances digestive health. The fiber content in grapes is beneficial for digestion and can help prevent constipation, promoting a healthy digestive system. It offers additional benefits. Grapes also contribute to immune function due to their vitamin C content and support bone health through their vitamin K and mineral profile. By including grapes in your diet, you can effectively boost your intake of essential nutrients while enjoying a delicious and refreshing fruit. Alright, I welcome you back to Steve Headlines Analysis on Dominion Television, Ibadan. Of course, I told you before we went on that break that when we come back, we're going to talk about, this headline on Nigeria Tribune that is saying Obi's running mate Datti offers to resolve Labour Party crisis. Present at NEC meeting by Abure-led group. Let me start with you, Victor Akile.
Yes, boss.
He's saying that he has the ability to, try to resolve this crisis going on within the Labour Party. Honestly, if anyone had told me that Labour Party were going through this kind of leadership crisis, I would have, argued that out, because really the party was really united 2022, 2023. Now we have two factions, the Nandi faction, Abure faction. And of course, do you think he has the capacity to actually resolve, this crisis? And do you see Peter Obi running on the Labour Party?
On the Labour Party, you say?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let me quickly say this. Anything can happen to anybody. Anything bad can happen to any system. So, thinking, why would Labour Party come from a good state and now have this issue? Yeah, it's possible. It can happen to anybody. Why? Because they got disappointed. They didn't fail, but the results of the last election would put anybody in that party in a very, maybe devastating mood, because they did all their best. They played their cards so well. So yes, that could be a very big reason for the deformation. Okay. So yes, it is possible to come from a good state and have issues now. So having said that, secondly, can Datti handle that? Well, anybody can handle anything. Do not downplay the power of people. It will amaze you that we never think ever that David would kill Goliath. You get my logic there? Okay. So anybody can fix anything. We don't let's look down on him. He might have the mental, the intellectual capacity to handle that. And then maybe he is a very strong stakeholder too. Apart from being a vice presidential running mate, then to be apart from that, he could be a very, very strong stakeholder. Yeah, all right. So he might be very, very respected in the party, and yeah, his word could count. Okay. Yeah. Do
you see him contesting on the Labour Party
for
presidential election?
Presidential election. Yes. You mean Datti himself?
Not Datti. Peter Obi. He's still a member of Labour Party. You don't see that happening?
If I may come in,
please come in.
I think he would contest. I think he would contest. I think
Hold
the
on,
only...
before, why I'm sorry to cut you.
okay.
Why I couldn't say something quickly is, what is the game with the coalition? So is he still a member of the Labour Party, a fraction of the Labour Party? The party has 2 fractions. They belong to a fraction. That's number one. Number two, is in full support of the coalition with the ADC. Not a member of ADC, but a member of the coalition.
Yes.
All right? A full supporter of the coalition.
Of the coalition.
Can we stop playing games? Let's be straight here. Firstly, you are a member of a coalition of a party that at the moment has crisis. You do not stand a chance in that party for 2 reasons. One, there is crisis in that party. Another problem is you are a member of a fraction, meaning we don't know the most powerful from the fractions. So one fraction, the other fraction is against you. We don't know which one is stronger. That's a problem in itself. So you have to fight within your party, win both fractions to your side. All right. Then what is the game supporting a coalition that is not directly favoring you?
You can't tell yet.
Okay, wait. I'm going somewhere. Let me just make my point.
Okay.
That is not directly favoring you, because you supported the coalition. They will not give you the coalition will not give you the presidential candidacy.
There's no guarantee yet.
I'm coming, please.
Yeah,
I'm not
please
continuing.
land, please land,
just-
please land.
So
Just proceed.
the party is not, like you said, let me use your word, there's no guarantee that this party, this coalition will give you presidential candidacy. All right. So at the end of the road, this party, they give you presidential candidacy. Sorry, somewhere, somehow, there will be a little iota of disappointment. Maybe a little, maybe not much. Sure. So you will carry this disappointment to your mother party or your initial party. Yeah, that's number one minus. Then you now have to fight a crisis that exists. Number two. Then number three, then you now have to fight against another coalition that may not want to support you. Why stress yourself? See, let Obi be sensible and just let him know what he is doing. I'm not talking about ADC.
That's a strong
I'm
point.
not talking about the coalition. I don't even have a problem with the crisis. PDP has crisis. I foresee a very mighty crisis coming for APC. Maybe later this year or next year, 2026. I'm not a prophet of doom, but I'm foreseeing it.
The signs are there.
Right. So anybody, crisis can come anytime for anybody. Nigeria is a big crisis, all right? So every family has their own crisis. So if Obi, what I'm saying is, Labour Party has crisis at the moment. Now, he himself should be the one to sit himself down, conduct an introspection on himself. What does he want? Where is he standing? Where is he going? If at the end of the day, if you have to go and establish a new party completely off arms of everybody.
Election is 2027.
My sister, she has a large number of obedience. I'm not an obedient anyways, but he has a large number of them.
Okay.
That may support him.
If I may add.
Please let him come in.
If I may add in. I think the first mistake we make is to assume there's a faction in Labour Party. There is no faction.
Really? There
Labour.
is.
And I'll give you the reason why I say
Okay.
so. I'll say whatsoever the confusion is concerning the Labour Party is being foiled by the Lagos media, the Southwest media, which Tinubu has a strong hold on. We all went to school to a reasonable extent. We know what is right from wrong. The Supreme Court has given a judgment that clearly states that this individual is not to be the...
Before you continue, I don't want to blame people who assume we have factions in the Labour Party,
I know,
because
that's why I'm
Menandi
clarifying it.
obviously
That's why I'm clarifying.
have issues with Abure.
That's what I'm clarifying
Okay.
by saying it is clear by law and the Supreme Court judgment, which is the Supreme Court of the land,
Okay.
that clearly stated...
Okay.
I'm coming.
Please let him
That
know.
clearly stated
Okay.
that this young man or old man, Abure, his tenure has ended and elapsed,
Okay.
and is not the leader of the party. And the statutory neck of the Labour Party that, in quotes, served also or were in place under Abure are the ones that still took the decision and elected Usman Menandi first as a caretaker.
She's going to be
I said
chairman.
first
Yes.
as a caretaker.
Yes.
Then last week brought in as the interim,
Yes.
as an interim to conduct elections and convention to bring in the proper executive that will take them to the elections.
Okay.
So that's clear. On the coalition,
It's clear to you, but not clear to a lot
and
of
that's what I'm saying.
Nigerians.
That's what I
Yeah.
said. That I said this in essence, it is a clear, simple thing.
Okay.
But the confusion is being fueled
Okay.
by the Lagos media.
And the fact that INEC still has Abure
Yeah,
as
as their national party chairman, which is also a very funny scenario because it was the court, the federal court beneath, that said, because they themselves, INEC were the first persons to take him out.
Okay.
Because the protocols to organize the convention was not followed through. And they said he was not recognized. He went to court. The federal court said they should install him, and he was brought back. But now the Supreme Court has set aside the judgment of even the federal court and the appeals court. So INEC, if they are not playing a partisan game as one of the players in the political space for 2027, the ruling is so clear, and they've had the judgment in their hands since as far back as I think March or April. So what are they still studying from then till now? We've seen Abure go meet Wike last week. There are handles in it. So when you talk about the coalition, for instance, the coalition is not dead, but the coalition is hinged on them making the right decision. People want, politics is a game of interest. So what we are seeing at play here is the interests from different factions. We have Atiku interested, we have Amaechi interested, we have Obi interested. And I think there's nothing wrong when the opposition comes together to say, okay, this government is bad, let's take this government out. Let's come. And that's what is happening with the coalition. So Obi has every right to stay in Labour Party and pay interest to what is going on in ADC.
You're right, according to the Nandi. I think I read a report where she said that Obi has every right, to still be a part of the coalition, because we've seen people who are a member of the, look at El-Rufai.
Yeah.
He's still a member of the SDP
and I
a
think
member
to
of the
even bring
coalition.
it, so first to make it clear,
okay,
the coalition existed as a social political group up until the point where they decided that we need a party that entrenches our interest for us to come on board.
Okay.
And ADC was selected as the party.
even though the former presidential candidate of ADC, Kachiku, he has a lot to say about the fact that these people just want to hijack our party.
See, so I think we've been missing words, so let's just go straight to the point.
Okay.
What is going on with the opposition is clearly an interference from the federal government.
I'll
Very
show
simple.
you.
Yeah, and I'll give you the instance. If you study how APC govern in states and how they've operated at the federal level, you would always see the signs and the hands there that these persons have interfered. If anyone is clear, if anyone follows this thing clearly, you will see that the government is trying to push Tinubu out as the sole candidate for next year election. Check PDP, there is crisis. Check Labour Party, there is crisis. SDP, there is crisis. Everywhere. Under Buhari was still even lenient. He allowed you people to operate. Jonathan allowed you to operate. But under this government, everybody is being squeezed dry.
Okay.
Governors from other parties are running into the ruling party. So you can already see the game plan. So that's why when people, just in 30 seconds, let me wrap this. That's why when you see people angry or criticizing maybe PDP or Labour, to a reasonable extent, their hands are a bit tied because their external interests are at play. So they also have to be careful because if they say they want to go fire for fire, the whole party is going to break out. So everyone is trying to play on it. And so for Dati, I think Dati is just trying to say, okay, let me come in here. Let me see how I can leverage my influence and try and bring you guys together. We are all members of the party.
Let's see how that will play out. Really,
And
Victor,
that's
1 minute just before we wrap up because time is not going to say. You have something to say?
We will leave the discussion.
Okay.
So
All right.
maybe
Okay. We'll just talk about
it.
it later. All right. A big thanks to Temitope Shala for being a part of this
Thank you
program
very
this
much.
morning. And of course, a big thanks to Victor Akile, for speaking to the issues. And please do want to join us tomorrow on another segment of Headlines Analysis. And of course, we have more interesting stories to talk about. My name is Oluwayemi Adela. I'm saying good morning.
Ever dreamed of creating the next viral series or telling powerful stories on the big screen? This summer, your passion for TV can become a reality. Our TV Practical Summer Class is calling all future scriptwriters, producers, directors, video editors, reporters, news editors, and on-air personalities. Get hands-on training from industry professionals. Learn to shoot with professional cameras, master editing software, and produce your own content from start to finish. This isn't just a class. It's your launch pad. Don't just watch TV. Make it. Enroll now. Spaces are limited. Visit our website on www.dominion.org.ng or call the number 0706 777 9435 0706 777 9435. Dominion Television, your channel of choice.
Grapes are versatile fruits that grow on vines and come in various shapes and colors, including green, red, and purple. They can be enjoyed fresh, dried into raisins, or transformed into juice and wine. Packed with antioxidant, vitamin C, and potassium, grapes offer a wealth of nutritional benefits. Incorporating grapes into your diet can greatly enhance your overall health due to their rich array of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. Here are some key benefits of grapes. It supports cardiovascular health. Grapes provide a significant source of potassium, which helps in regulating blood pressure. Additionally, the presence of antioxidants like resveratrol may offer protective effects against heart disease, making grapes an excellent addition to a heart-healthy diet. It promotes eye health. With antioxidants such as lutein and zeaxanthin, grapes contribute to better eye health. These compounds may help shield against conditions like cataract and age-related macular degeneration, supporting long-term vision. It aids in cancer prevention. Certain compounds found in grapes, including resveratrol and other polyphenols, have demonstrated potential in laboratory and animal studies for inhibiting cancer cell growth. This makes grapes a valuable fruit to consider in a cancer prevention strategy. It enhances digestive health. The fiber content in grapes is beneficial for digestion and can help prevent constipation, promoting a healthy digestive system. It offers additional benefit. Grapes also contribute to immune function due to their vitamin C content and support bone health through their vitamin K and mineral profile. By including grapes in your diet, you can effectively boost your intake of essential nutrients while enjoying a delicious and refreshing fruit.
Welcome to the big story on Daybreak Live, where we go beyond the headlines and dig deep into issues that shape our society. I'm Samson Balogun, and today we turn our attention to a critical development within Nigeria's security architecture. A loud cry from those who once wore the uniform with pride. In what many described as a long overdue outcry, retired police officers took to the street in Abuja, gathering in front of the police headquarters to demand better salaries, pensions, and improved welfare for all police personnel in Nigeria. The protest, led by activists and the former presidential candidate Omoyele Sowore, shines a stark light on the neglect and hardship faced by men and women who dedicated their lives to protecting others. As conversations around police reforms continue to echo across the nation, this protest raises fundamental questions. Why are those who served the nation in uniform being left behind? What reforms are urgently needed to restore dignity to the Nigerian police force or the Nigeria police, both for active officers and those in retirement? And what role does government accountability play in reshaping law enforcement in Nigeria? Today, we explore this developing story with experts, voices from force and advocates for justice and reform. Good morning once again. Welcome to the big story. Samson Balogun is my name. I won't be doing this alone. And of course, I have a security expert, someone that knows so much about security architecture in Nigeria. Dr. Kunle Okunla is here with me in the studio. Good morning to you, Doctor.
Good morning. Good morning, Nigerians.
There's a lot to unpack on this show.
Yeah.
There are men and women who serve Nigeria with dignity.
Yeah.
They have paid their dues. They are retired, but they are suffering. What's the problem?
There are a lot of issues with Nigerian police. You know, it's so pathetic that having put 35 years into active service, you know, in a job that is so security intense, you know, and at the end of the day, you know, there's no benefits. Imagine one of the people that went for the protest, he said he retired as assistant ASP, superintendent of police, you know, and after retirement, he got his pension, gratuity 2 years after retirement, and that's 2.2 million naira.
That's all for 35 years.
For 35 years.
In the Nigerian economy, that is this bad.
Afterwards, he gets 30,000 naira every month for pension. You know, that is absurd. It's not encouraging, you know, and probably the reason why serving officers wants to do the best they could, you know, to get
to amass wealth while still in
service. Possible for this. Some from the part of the government, from the part of the, like an Hydra head, there are so many reasons for this. But one thing that is sure is that in Nigeria, you are important when you are in service, and when you are gone, the protest is not fighting for the belief is discriminatory. You know, that's Akpata Junction. You see the same face, the traffic wardens
from morning till evening.
You know, 6 a.m., 7 a.m. they are there. When you are coming 7 in the night,
they're still there.
Yes, still there. They are looking tired, wearied, and tattered, and you wonder why they call officer, you know, for uniform allowance to fashion designers and tailors
to sew for
them. And if they can sew for officers, they can sew for criminals as well. How many times have we seen it is there are hidden codes there that cannot be replicated. You don't have it here. So it's so easy to use the uniform for criminalities. These are some of the issues that the officers are battling with. And so they need a voice. And you know, it's not easy for serving officers to protest. You know, it's not easy. Everybody goes on holiday, they don't go on holiday. You know, they are always there. Fuel per station. Any station in Nigeria is 1 liter of fuel per day, per station. And here you have 3, 4, 5, you know, different people calling from different places for police intervention. How do you want them to perform? If they want to go on operations, they have to count bullets for them. 4, 5, every weapons. So these are.
You don't care about the number of bullets they fire.
These are conditions that are not palatable, and so it's a welcome development that some people are actually, you know, crying, talking on their behalf. Yeah.
Have you seen malnourished police officers on the road?
So many of them.
Tattered uniform.
And we were stopped at the roadblock. If I actually told to park, and they were drunk. Both of them were drunk. I just told the driver, whatever they want, please give them. Don't argue. Your papers, this is it. Your Oga, give us something. Give him something. Let him go. Because a police officer under this condition can do anything, or they dismiss them. Or how many people have been killed by. To be sincere, you need to see the salaries. Yesterday I was million every month. Every month, 1.6.
Someone hands less than 200,000.
Yes, the corporal gets 40,000 naira for 1 month. I mean, these are even a secondary school students, you know, that just finished.
Cannot survive on 40,000.
Cannot survive on 40,000 naira, and you want a man that with the
dedication to service. You want integrity. Over 40,000 in a month.
Have you visited their so-called barracks? You know,
I was about to talk about that. There's one close to us. When you look at the situation,
choice, because They had no choice. They just have to stay there. The place is not habitable. Each time I visit, there was a time I was doing a private study on the barracks of police. I wept with the condition of service. You need to see their toilet, see their bedroom. It's horrible. It's terrible. Nobody cares about that. And sometimes when this central policing that we're practicing, that is not working until we go back. We are training in Jos months before they could get an accommodation. Senior officers staying in their office, living there because they don't have anybody here. They're not using they can't. They need like a year before they can understand the terrain. Some of them don't understand the language, and you post them to a place like this. How do they function? They cannot function.
Dr. Kunle Okola, what is the role of the Police Service Commission?
The Police Service Commission is supposed to be...
Are they even functional?
I won't say they are functional. The role of the Police Service Commission is to police the police. All right? When an inherent police has an issue, all right, because that is the body, that civilian body of the police. When a serving police officer has an issue, refer to the Police Service Commission. But at the end of the day, it is still the serving police that will interrogate and investigate the matter, and thereafter, make decision given to Police Service Commission. So they are just there like a figurehead. They are not functioning. They are supposed to cater for the welfare of the police. They themselves, they are not well catered for.
Let's go back in history. We have had senior police officers who have occupied that position before as the chairman Police Service Commission.
Yeah.
Eventually, they were found wanting of corruption, one way or the other. Let's remember Tafa Balogun, for example. At the point, his house was broken into by the FCC, and monies were found in his building, which actually, in the long run, belonged to Police Service Commission.
Yeah.
If people who retired as police officers are witch-hunting police officers are now, they do not care about the welfareism of police officers, then who will do that?
The issue of corruption, it's deeply immersed, not just in the police. And so, when you come in as a junior officer, you grow up with that mentality that I have to get what I need in order to survive. And so you see the junior officers rise up with that mind. And so when they get to the senior officers cadet, they still continue with that, So what I think we need is a total refurbishment of the police force in Nigeria.
With the same set of officers we currently have.
We are not going to borrow officers. There is a way you can...
What has to change?
A lot of things has to change. You see, although I left passionate about...
They have no business becoming police officers.
They have no
but
business.
They are there.
But because the father is a police officer, or because the father is a politician, they just give them notes.
Find themselves becoming police officers just because they could not secure employment in other places.
Even the recruitment of the police officers in Nigeria, the government must do something about that. There are times that are training in Jos. There are times that during the passing out parade, faces that were not part of the training for 1 year will just show up, and they will pass out because they are sons of big individuals in Nigeria. And these are people that were never ever trained in the constitutions and the institutions and rights of policing in Nigeria. 6 months is not enough. 1 year is not enough. But that is what we have in Nigeria.
Dr. Kunle Okola, you have been to the police academy.
Yeah.
You've seen the standard of living. The trusting difference do we have?
There are so many. That is because, number one, corruption. Okay. The money that the government allocated for the training, some people are, getting into their posts, and so they leave a little for the Nigerian officers. They are very intelligent. I say this because when they move to places like Israel or UK, and sometimes US for corporate training with other police from other nations. You see Nigerian police coming up on top, and that tells you that the problem is not with the trainees. The problem is with the condition of the training. So our training system is very, very bad. We don't even have retraining in Nigeria. It should be training and retraining and retraining, but we don't have that.
It is just training in Nigeria.
Once you are trained once, and that is the end, And you see officers staying on the same level for 8 years, 10 years. I saw someone. He said he's been a sergeant for 12 years.
No promotion.
And it's supposed to be 3 years promotion. And so some of them have to do terrible things, in order to get the senior officers to notice them. Like just picking up people for no reasons and, telling the institution that they did some terrible things. Go to Agodi. You see so many inmates there that they don't even, they are not aware of what happened to them, and they're just there just because somebody wanted a promotion, recognition. 3 years on paper, you should get promoted from one level to another, and this somebody staying for 12 years.
Some said it is even expensive to go on courses. At least that puts you in the right place to be promoted.
You have to lobby yourself to be part of the people that will go for training. Even to move from one station to another, there are insinuations that officers have to forfeit their 3 months, 6 months salary, to whoever is in charge of a transfer before they can be moved from within the same state from one place to another. These are some of the things that are going on in the police division that has to be looked into.
Okay, now still talking about the Nigerian police and the current situation and the standard of a service we currently have in the Nigerian police, which compared to other countries, developed countries, if I may put it that way, is there's a contrasting difference, and that borders an average Nigerian. That when we will get to that place where we can actually trust police officers to safeguard lives and properties, because an angry police officer is a deadly police officer, as earlier said. Now, we have had several protests in the country before. Ranging from one institution to the other, and we had the NSAS protest, which was hijacked in the long run, and I never really saw the real change people actually clamored for. Now, with Omoyele Sowore leading this protest, is there ever going to be a change? Would an average police officers in the country get the kind of lifestyle they deserve?
The problem with the police division in Nigeria, like I said, is like the head of the Hydra, is Hydra headed. You have to consider the input of the military in the affairs of the police. One of the reasons why the police division has become so incarcerated, in quotes, in Nigeria is because of the input of the military. There was a time in this nation when the police division was the best. If you want any thorough investigation, even so many coups that were supposed to happen in this nation have been thwarted by the police. There was a department in the police division called the branch. When MD Yusuf was the Inspector General, it was the one in charge. The branch was the department that was, involved in getting information, all right? And they are so good that not just in Nigeria, other nations, West African nations, East African nations, they've employed the service of Nigerian police to help them, And there's an envy at that time between the military and the police, because a lot of money was going into the police, getting informations in anywhere.
Intelligence gathering.
Intelligence gathering is very expensive. So a lot of money was going to the police division. They're actually working. But when Murtala Mohammed was killed, that was when the military came up and said, they blame it on the police, that they didn't give them enough information. And MD Yusuf then said that they gave them 3 solid, information that so thing. They actually gave them the exact date that so is going to happen, but the military ignored it. But eventually, the military blamed it on the police. And at that time, when the new head of state came in, they took away the branch, which is intelligence gathering
from the police.
From the police, and gave it to the military. That's we have the GSS, we have the NSA, you have others.
Primarily, whose role it is to gather intelligence for the country?
Primarily, it is for the police. When it comes to gathering intelligence, it is for the police, and the police feeds other, security,
military and paramilitary agencies.
They feed them, but they've taken that away from the police, and since then we have never gotten.
Is that the source of the problems?
That is the source of that's the source. And when you take intelligence gathering from the police, you take a lot of money from the police, all right, and so that's where the police, activities got dropped in this nation.
Oh, now, if I may ask you, what best practices can Nigeria adopt to improve police pensions and salary structure sustainability?
I think what the retired officers asking for is actually right. Take them away, from the contributory pension scheme, okay? Because if you are not doing it for the senior officers, then you have to remove also from the junior officers. And their pension and gratuity has to be looked into. I think police division is the only place where they get that mega amount. A woman was saying, again yesterday, I listened to, that she retired as an inspector. So after serving for 35 years, got a gratuity 2 years after, that's 1.2 million. 1.2 million. And now she's getting, I think, he said 18,000 naira every month as pension. That is horrible. So she even regrets ever joining the police. The other person was saying he regretted being, a sincere and honest police officer. So some of his friends, that were very corrupt, they are doing fine even after retirement. You need to look at these people that were protesting, and you ask yourself, are these people, are they once served in the police? Because they are not looking it.
In what way will this statement made by retired police officers instigate current 7 police officers to actually do the right thing or do the wrong thing? Will they ever be instigated in one way or the other?
You don't need to, from the way things are now, I don't think that the present police officers need anybody to either instigate or incite them. They themselves are seeing what is happening, and that is why I believe the government must step in. They must step in, because if they don't step in, we are still going to have a more corrupt police officers in this nation. How many cases of before the NSAS? It's after the NSAS is stopped, but I was told it's coming up again. Any young guy that is putting on dreadlock, the police will arrest.
Phones.
You are carrying a bag, they stop you, and there's the instance when the police officer will take these guys to ATM to transfer money or from their phones. And at the end of the day, nothing will actually come out of it.
Now, before we go, Doctor, let me ask you this question. What are the dangers attached or related to neglecting retired police officers? Are there dangers involved for the government and for the people?
Yes, it's very dangerous. It's very dangerous because they are retired police officers. They've been trained how to combat criminality in Nigeria. So when they are pressed, they can use the knowledge to enhance criminality in the society. That is one. Number 2, when you neglect the retired police officer, you are sending a signal to the serving police officers that do whatever you can do now, because once you retired, you are not catered for. All right. So those are the 2 instances. Somebody that was trained, on how to handle gun, how to shoot and things like that, now retired, you think that the knowledge will disappear? So if he's pressed and he gets hold of a gun, all right, he can be a good criminal. He can be a good criminal.
Very quickly before we go to round off on this segment of the show this morning. Now, your honest assessment and your honest opinion about the current situation. Do you think change is near for the retired police officers and, of course, 7 police officers in the country?
Yes, I would say that, because the body language of the president, President Tinubu, is always positive when it comes to police. In fact, he was saying that he wants to restructure the police
system.
Yes, he said he wants to the system, and with that, we're hoping that with this protest going on now, maybe the presidency will do something. So we're hopeful that he will do something about it, because he himself knew that the system is rotten. That's why he said he's going to restructure, but has not done it. But with protests like this, and with somebody like Sowore heading it, even though I was told he was beaten up yesterday, but that's okay. All right. I believe that there is hope. The government will do something.
All right, Dr. Kunle Okola, thank you for joining us on the show.
Thank you very much.
Our time is fast spent, but I know we still have a lot to discuss.
Yes,
maybe sometimes in the future we'll talk more about how well this protest has affected the well-being and welfareism of police officers in the country.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Now, as the voices of retired police officers echo through the gates of Nigeria's police headquarters, one message is clear: dignity in retirement is a right, not a privilege. If we must fix the force, we must start by honoring those who built it and ensuring that those in active service have hope for a better tomorrow. That's it on this edition of The Big Story on Daybreak Live. Join us again tomorrow as we continue to spotlight the truth that matter and amplify voices that demand change. I'm Samson Balogun. Stay involved, informed, and engaged, and stay with Dominion Television. Let's go on a short break. Daybreak Live continues on this dial. We'll be back.
Nutritional value of carrots. The carrot Dacus carota stands out as a highly nutritious root vegetable, mostly commonly known for its vibrant orange hue. However, it's worth noting that heirloom varieties showcase an impressive array of colors, including purple, black, red, white, and yellow. All of these are domesticated forms of the white carrot, which is native to Europe and southwestern Asia, with its origins traced back to Iran, where it was initially cultivated for its leaves and seeds. In 2022, global production of carrots and turnips combined reached a remarkable 42 million tons, with China leading the charge, contributing an impressive 44% of the total. Packed with essential nutrients, carrots are rich in beta-carotene and antioxidants, making them an excellent choice for anyone seeking to enhance their health as part of a nutrient-dense diet. They are particularly notable for providing substantial amounts of beta-carotene, fiber, vitamin K1, potassium, and antioxidants, all while being low in calories. The health benefits of carrots are well documented. They are linked to lower cholesterol levels and improved eye health, while the carotene antioxidants they contain are associated with a reduced risk of cancer. Carrots are available in a variety of colors, ranging from yellow and white to orange, red, and purple. The striking orange color of common carrots comes from beta-carotene, an antioxidant that our bodies efficiently convert into vitamin A.
Welcome back. The show is still Daybreak Live right here on Dominion Television, your channel of choice, where inspiration meets entertainment. Do not forget that you can keep the conversation going by linking up with us on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram and TikTok. Click the like button, follow us, and of course, you can watch us live on all those platforms. Do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel, www.Dominion Broadcast, YouTube channel at Dominion Broadcast. And of course, you can watch us live on our website at www.dominion.org.ng, dominion.org.ng. You can also link up with us on our X handle at Dominion Broadcast. Now it is time for Trend Watch, where we'll take you through the trends on social media and what the people are saying, what's buzzing. Yemi Adilakun is here. Together, we'll be doing justice to this.
Exactly. I'm glad to be back here. Of course, this morning, we have something interesting to talk about.
Very interesting.
Yes.
And a former OAP. And, you know...
Do you say former? He could still venture into it. I don't think he said he has resigned.
As of now, he's no longer on here.
Okay.
And he's doing his thing, actually.
Yeah.
And it's actually cool to actually see people who actually decided that, look, aside from what I've been doing for years and for ages that people know me for, I think I can do something else and still
people even
waves.
Take break. I've seen someone who decided to stay away from media for 5 years and then came back.
And then
it
happens. So we will not be surprised to see Dotun back on, on the air.
His vibe.
Yeah, of course. And people have actually missed him. But then, aside from that, he's in the news, and he posted something recently. He said, if you are the one that came up with the law to ban DJs and event planners in a state, that you are very I mean, that statement is, very, very... You
don't want to talk about it on there. And he said, what a complete level of ignorance tied to hopelessness and joblessness. What is the effect of such law? Some people are so backward in this Nigeria. Really, when I read the news, I mean, I had to go online to search for more information on that, because I was wondering, a lot of persons, will be out of jobs because of this law. I mean, looking at the fact that, I think a lot of event planners, they are going to be out of jobs. A lot of DJs, that is their only source of livelihood. They'll be out of jobs. So really, I think it's something that should still be looked into. Really, I don't know if that's going to be possible, but it should still be looked into, before a final resolution on this.
I mean, I don't want to believe that there is a good reason to say, look, we have to send some people out of jobs.
The reason, speaking on reason, sorry to cut you.
In the entertainment industry.
Yeah, the reason, I think when I watched the video was because, I mean, they are seeing a lot of divorce cases, immorality amongst men and women, and they feel maybe because of these songs, and the DJs, and maybe that's why they are having more cases of, people, leaving their wives or leaving their husbands.
That's exactly why I'm still going back to my point that I do not see enough reason why you should say you want to ban DJs. I mean, see, whoever gets to believe that, oh, he or she can be influenced by what is seen on social media or what is heard, songs being played, I think it is their choice. You can just choose to pick the entertainment part of the whole stuff and just block every other thing that comes with it. So get entertained and don't be influenced by things you hear. But in this case where it is getting to a stage where DJs, for example, being banned, event planners, I mean, what has event planners got to do with this? But the truth of the matter is, sometimes in a country like Nigeria, we get to witness situations where people just create topics for people to talk about, and then we leave the really important ones. The economy is so bad, and all we have to talk about is
a lot of Nigerians have been crying about state police. Look at a lot is going on in the north, but sometimes it appears that we tend to tilt towards certain things that are not really necessary at a point. Because I mean, imagine if they say they want to ban DJ in Lagos. I'm very sure there's going to be chaos.
Where that's the capital of nightlife in Nigeria.
Exactly, it's going to be chaos. And
so
of
what
course,
will happen?
I read some tweets here, and someone said it's like the northern states, they want to keep going like this when every other state is trying to go like this. Really, there's a point in that.
You see, the truth of the matter is, the mistake came a long time ago and nobody looked in that direction. See, we are people of, we are Nigerians. As long as the amalgamation made us one, we are all Nigerians. But the truth of the matter is we have different ideologies, we have different reasoning pattern, and we are different people, regardless of how well you want to bring all of us back together. Because, you talk about the Southwest, Southeast, South. These are people of different religions, different, ethnic, backgrounds. And the truth of the matter is, we can all be together as one, but different ideas. But saying, oh, this is what we want to do, why we put other things aside, is a big problem. And we have a comment here.
Exactly.
I think that's coming from Dan Flexi for you. Says that the craziest part is the law is only enforced on poor people. When it's their elite event, they won't make any arrest. With the level of unemployment in this country, one state is sending its people back to 1880s.
That's serious. Not even 1960s when we go independent.
Way back.
1880s is
way back.
It's too far, really. But the person has a point.
I would have actually done a song for them for throwback, even though because today is not Thursday.
Really. Allow me link this. To some cases with the EFCC. They talked about the fact that you are not allowed to spray money anyhow. A lot of persons will say we've seen very rich people in this country do
they have done it several times. Nobody's talking about it.
So he has a point by saying that some elites are not actually.
And that's why people talk about selective prosecution in the country. When they want to prosecute, it's only a group of people, a section of people, a cross-section of people, and not everyone.
Some people enjoy
the constitution is not for everybody. That's what people are saying. Because if a poor man gets arrested over flimsy reasons, and a rich man can just wave his aside. I was talking to someone yesterday. I said the only country where you can wake up in the morning and say, oh, this is how I want to be for the day, and people will still respect you for being that, only if you are rich, is Nigeria. And as a poor man, you can't just decide this is what I want to do. There are guidelines and there are rules for you as a poor man. But if you are rich, even when you are wrong, people will still worship you for being wrong. I mean, you can see someone does something not so spectacular, and because that person is rich, you see a lot of people clapping. I would be like, what exactly are you clapping for, and why are you clapping?
However, I think we have seen a lot of rich people that are very well cultured, well mannered. They don't do things that are
absolutely
wrong.
Right.
So, however, we might have some persons that do outside. They don't do things like that. But really, I think we can do better, because if we put some blames on the government, I mean, sometimes even Nigerians themselves, we have a lot to do in terms of how we deal with people. A friend of mine recently just said that he traveled outside of the country, and the first guy he met, who is a Nigerian, duped him. Imagine, what kind of thing is that? Are we going to blame certain things like that on the government? So I think, away from that, this should be reviewed. A lot of persons will be out of jobs, because of this ban. Yes, it can be a valid reason why this has been put in place, because they feel is leading to a lot of persons, leaving their wives or their. I'm not in Bauchi. I've never lived in Bauchi. I don't know what is going on there. However, I mean, it should be reviewed. That's why I think. It
should be reviewed. Yeah. Well, that takes us away from this segment of the show this morning. We say very thank you for spending your morning with us. And this is Daybreak Live right here on Dominion Television. I'll leave you with this. Every morning, we are born again. And what we do every day is what actually matters. So, today, make informed decisions. Until tomorrow, when we shall be meeting again on this show, Daybreak Live right here on Dominion Television, your channel of choice. I say keep being good out there. Keep being safe. Samson Balogun is my name. Bye for now.
And of course, thank you for being a part of the show. Do want to join us tomorrow. And before I go, I want to tell you, please, the first thing that people come in contact with is your sense of humanity. It's not your religion, not your tribe, and of course, not your status. Let's endeavor to be of good character at all times. My name is Oluwayemi Adela. I'm saying good morning.